Hi there, this is the Black Mormon Reader, and I'll be reading verses from the 5th chapter of Jacob. This is a long chapter. It's allegory, and it's delivered by the prophet Zenos. Zenos is one of those prophets whose work has been, for the most part, lost. There were probably many such prophets whose works just was lost. The prophets whose work have been preserved were doing so during the Babylonian exile. It was during this period that there was a shift from the oral tradition to the written tradition, and this was done to preserve the history of the Hebrew people. Well, let us read just a little cap of what we will find in this long chapter. Okay, let's turn to the right page. Jacob quotes Zenos relative to the allegory of the tame and the wild olive trees. They are a likeness of Israel and the Gentiles. The scattering and the gathering of Israel are prefigured. Allusions are made to the Nephites and the Lamanites and all the houses of Israel. Gentiles shall be grafted into Israel. Eventually the vineyard shall be destroyed. So let us start. For behold, thus says the Lord, I will liken thee unto the house of Israel, like unto a tame olive tree, which a man took and nourished in his vineyard, and it grew and waxed old, and began to decay. And he said, I will prune it, I will dig it, I will nourish it, and perhaps it may shoot forth young and tender branches. And after he had done according to his words, it began to put forth a tender young branches, but the top thereof was perishing. So he has a servant, and he tells a servant, go and find me some branches from a wild olive tree, and I'm going to graft those branches in the wild olive tree into the top of this tree where the branches are perishing. And the young shoots, the shoots are the young branches, and I'm going to take these young branches that have grown up from where I have dug and nourished around the tree. I'm going to take these young branches and I'm going to plant these young branches in places throughout the vineyard. And this is exactly what he did, according to his word. But let us stop here and think on this. First, the olive tree is planted in the wrong place. It is planted in a vineyard, and a vineyard is a place where grapes are grown. A vineyard has been cultivated over the years to grow grapes. A vineyard is not a place where one would attempt to grow olive trees. I've picked oranges and I've picked apples, and in these orchards and groves you will only find apple trees in the orchard, and you would only find citrus trees in the grove. You do not find other trees growing because it was not intended that other trees should grow in that place. So in the vineyard, this man is planting olive trees. So he's planting the wrong type of tree. So it comes to pass, as we are told, that he goes and check up on his cuttings, and he checked up on the plants, the branches that have been grafted in upon the tree. Okay, and let us do some reading here. Then let us go see if the natural branches of the tree have not brought forth good fruit. And they went forth, and they brought forth good fruit. And the servant says, well, how is it that with these cuttings that you planted, or these natural branches that you planted in the ground, the poorest ground has brought forth trees with good fruit? And the master says, well, counsel me not. I have, he says, counsel me not. I knew that it was a poor spot of ground. I've nourished it for a long time, and behold, it bringeth forth much fruit. And he went to a spot that was poorer than that spot, and that poor spot of land had also brought forth good fruit. So he goes to a spot that was good ground. And he said unto the servants, look hither, behold the last. This have I planted, the good spot of ground, and I have nourished it a long time, and only a part of the tree has brought forth good fruit, and a part of the tree has brought forth bad fruit. So here we have a tree that's bringing forth good fruit and bringing forth bad fruit, but this is part of from the mother tree, from the natural tree, but it's planted on good soil. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, pluck off the branches that have not brought forth good fruit, and cast them into the fire. And the servant said, no, let's prune it. Let's prune it. Let's not cut it down and cast it off to the fire. Let's prune it. And they came to the tree, the first tree. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard and the servant went down unto the vineyard, and they came unto the tree whose natural branches had been broken off, and the wild branches had been grafted in, and they behold all sorts of fruit on this tree. And the master says about it, it has brought forth much fruit, and none of the fruit which is good. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, what must we do unto the tree, that I may preserve it again with good fruit? He also says, the tree profiteth me nothing, and the roots thereof profit me nothing, as long as it shall bring forth good fruit. So now we see something that is a dilemma. And on this note, we are going to stop. This is the Black Woman Reader. Until next time.